Ciao! I have made before a Parmigiana, which is sliced aubergines cooked with tomato sauce and basil and mozzarella. Also, I have made before chicken in breadcrumbs. Today I've got an idea. I'm going to be combining the two together to make Parmigiana with chicken in breadcrumbs to see what happens. So hopefully it will be a delicious meal, because both meals on their own are delicious. So the first job is to slice the aubergine, and I'm using a bread knife. These are ideal for this job. They're very dangerous, but if used properly they're very safe. I think actually they should be called aubergines knife because they're ideal for this job. Anyhow, so I'm cutting them approximately 1 centimeter or just under 1 centimeter thick each slice, and I'm doing 2 aubergines. I'm cooking for 2 people, but the likelihood is that there will be more likely to be more for 3 people, maybe even 4, depends how much you eat. Also, I don't like frying my aubergines very much, so I try and use as little oil as possible when I'm doing them. I will have to do a couple of rounds anyway, so I'm squeezing in as many as I can. I've turned them up high to get them going, and as soon as they start sizzling I'll put the lid on and I'll turn the temperature on a medium setting, but I'll stay here. I won't go far because aubergines will burn very quickly, and they will take 3 minutes per side, and then I'll turn them around. But they will cook in their own steam, and they'll be a much healthier option than just frying them in a lot of oil. As soon as aubergines are cut and they're in contact with the air, they start turning brown. So what I do while I wait, I put them on top of one another, and they will stay a nice healthy color until I'm ready for the next round. In the meantime, I'll get the chicken ready as well. So this is one large breast which I have defrosted, and I've left it on top of some kitchen paper because has released quite a bit of water. There's some clean film in there. So I'm drying it up so that it's not too watery. And using a different knife, do not use your bread knife for this job as it is dangerous. I'm now slicing my chicken breast into thin little slices, and you can of course ask your butcher to do this for you. I decided to do it by myself, as of course I'm chicken breast in the freezer, or you can buy the chicken already sliced as well. To make it even thinner, I'm going along with a little basher so that it's as thin as I can possibly get it. So within a few minutes my aubergines are beginning to brown up, and they are turning into a lovely golden color, and if you look, they're nice and soft, and the moisture is actually doing the job very nicely. So I'm just gonna turn them around 3-4 minutes and they'll be ready. Break an egg in a bowl, add a pinch of salt, ground a little pepper, and give it a quick mix using your fork. Parmesan cheese on top as well, and blend it in with the egg. The first batch of aubergines is ready, so I'm going to get them out. And they're nice and soft and translucent, which is a good sign that they're cooked. And even if they're not totally 100% cooked, do not worry too much, because they're going to go back in the pan in a little while anyhow. And we start again for the second round. And in the meantime, I'll continue with the prep of the chicken. So these are a couple of spoons of plain flour, tiny little amount of salt and pepper of course, and a very quick mix with a fork, and a couple of handful of breadcrumbs in a separate container. So I've got all of my ingredients laid in front of me now, and I'm going to be using my left hand to pick the chicken. I'll put it in some flour, turn it around. I'll start with a little piece, dip it in the egg, and then move it on to the breadcrumbs. And using my right hand, I'm going to put some breadcrumbs on top of my chicken, and I'm going to be keeping one hand clean and one hand dirty. And I'll move it into a plate. I'll do it again, this time with a bigger piece. Flour with my left hand, egg with my left hand, turn it around, make sure that all of the lovely cheese covers your chicken. With the breadcrumbs, use your right hand to cover it with breadcrumbs both sides. There you go, job done. In the meantime, all of my aubergines are cooked, and if you look, they're lovely color, lovely and golden and nice and soft. And I can move on to the preparation of the sauce next. So clove of garlic, same pan as before, we save on the washing up, olive oil, in goes the garlic. This is a tin of chopped tomato, and as I'm doing chicken in breadcrumbs as well, I've decided to add some passata as well, only a little, approximately 100 milliliters. This will ensure that everything stays nice and moist, but also I can mop things up with the bread. As soon as the garlic starts sizzling, add the tomato on top. Pinch of salt. And I've decided to put some herbs on the tomato rather than anywhere else. So I'm adding at the moment some sage and also some parsley. Give everything a good mix with your spoon and cover it up and let it simmer for 10 minutes and it will be ready. While the sauce is cooking, I will lightly fry the chicken. So wait until the oil is nice and hot, and you can check that by quickly dipping in your chicken, and not quite there yet, so I'll wait a little longer. Good, we're there now, so in goes the chicken. And being that I've actually sliced it very thin, this is not going to take very long, and it's just enough to brown it so that when we cook the aubergines and the chicken together, everything will cook at the same time. My temperature is on a medium to high, number 7 out of 9, and literally within a couple of minutes I'm going to be turning it around. Try not to burn it because it would be a shame, and it doesn't need a lot anyhow. Perfect, this looks done. It's very, very thin anyway, so I'll put it away. Same applies with this one and this one. And in I go for the second and final round. And my sauce should also be ready. The garlic, by the way, I'm gonna crush mine, but you can remove yours if you like, personal choices. Look, it's gone nice and thick, and has also changed in color. I'm gonna taste a little to see if it's any good. It's perfect. I'll turn it off and we move on to the final stage. And the good news is that as well as being close to the end, my little helper, camera lady, has just arrived.
Yeah, sorry, my worms are biting. I'm hungry, everybody.
I did say to her, well, if you want to quicker, come and help me.
Yeah.
There she is. I've transferred the majority of the sauce in a separate bowl, and I'm going to be adding some basil now. I don't like cooking the basil in this particular case, and I'll let it infuse the rest of the sauce. But also, you will notice that I've left some behind because this is going to be the base of my chicken and aubergine parmigiana. And having done a good preparation, it should be very easy and straightforward now. So I will start with a layer of aubergine at the bottom first, followed by some tomato. Oh god, the smell is so good. I've chopped a fresh mozzarella, 1 bowl of mozzarella, and I've kept 4 pieces for the very, very top layer, and some pieces I've chopped them into small pieces so that they can go in the middle, in between. And if it is a parmigiana, it needs parmigiano, so I'm sprinkling some parmigiano on top as well. Chicken time next. I'm going to put all of my chicken in 1 layer. I do not have enough for 2 layers anyway, but I think it will be perfectly okay.
I think that little piece, maybe we should just have a little snack out of.
Oh, this piece. There you go. Make sure it's cooked.
It is.
And again, followed by some tomato again on top. And I'm going to be a little bit more generous as we have got the breadcrumbs, and I want to make sure that they do not dry up too much.
Oh, I would have been happy with the chicken on its own. That was lovely.
I know. But this is a combo.
I'm sure it will be lovely. Yes, it will be lovely. But
And I'm going to complete my last layer the way I started with a generous layer of aubergines. And as they are already cooked, this will not take very long. Little bit of Parmesan cheese again on top. More mozzarella. Rest of my sauce. And press it down with your spoon so that the sauce which has gone through, it'll push up and everything is absolutely covered. It is important that everything has got some sauce. And it is also a very enjoyable thing to do. One last sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. And I'm going to be strategically positioning my last mozzarella so that by the time it's cooked, it's going to look absolutely stunning. Nearly there. I have placed it back on the hob and it's now beginning to bubble, so I'm going to be placing the lid on. I'll turn it into a medium to low, number 4 out of 9 in my case, and 15 minutes, 1-5, and it will be ready. See you in 15. And while I wait for the dinner to cook, I just wanted to say that I'm almost at 1,000 subscriptions, which is well ahead of the curve. I thought it was going to be a year, so thank you very much from the bottom of my heart to all those of you who have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed and you like what I'm doing, please do subscribe. There is an underlying purpose behind what I'm doing, and I'll explain it in due course, but I want to really help people cooking more natural with more genuine ingredients, especially the younger generation. And I would really appreciate your support, and that will help me grow the channel and hopefully reach more people and share some wonderful Sicilian and Italian cooking. Thank you very much. And look at this. Oh my God. I will be turning it off, 15 minutes on, and bubbling away, and it looks absolutely stunning. I think I mentioned it before. I've done both dishes before individually, but never combined, so this is a first. Right.
what can go wrong?
What can go wrong indeed? And I think if you watch my videos, you will know what I'm about to do. There.
Magic basil.
Magic basil, so good.
Yeah, I think that's a fabulous idea. There's bound to be melting cheese.
The next challenge is to serve it and not to make a mess. Let's have a look. Oh, actually I've done quite well.
Not bad at all.
Ready?
Yeah. Let's rock and roll.
I'm about to test some, and I'm going to let you know, but I'm going to be making sure that there is a piece of everything in it after all the effort. Oh God, so good. Chicken is a very versatile food, and aubergine is incredibly versatile vegetable, so this is a perfect marriage. It's really lovely. Never made it before. I said this before, made them individually, and they marry really nicely. Try it. You will not be disappointed, that's for sure.
I'm about to, no
You're
worries.
about to. So ciao, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy if you make it. Let me know if you do. Ciao.